Hello, welcome back to LRC. So in previous video, you have already flashed the Arduino Uno and learning how to configure the parameters. Now in this video, we are going to process the flight test PDF plan. You should have already installed Inkscape 0.91 now. Open it and then go to help about Inkscape and verify that it's version 0.91. If you have other version, you still can use it, but you face issue along the way. Trust me, please get a 0.91. You can get the installer file from the zip pack I uploaded in Thingiverse, or look for the 0.91 from Google. One thing you have to be sure every time when you process the PDF plan is that go to File, Document Properties, then select for default units. Also select your paper size, A1. Our batch size is A1, and make sure that it's in units in here again. Also select portrait. Okay, then just click close, and you can press on the middle of your scroll, your mouse wheel, to drag your workspace, and then the bottom left here is the home position, the same home position as your CNC machine. And then you can hold on the control, adjust your mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to process the FT mini arrow, as I've flown this before, but I have not cut it using the machine. So select the flight test PDF plan that you want. Make sure the one you have is the one for A1 size, A1 file. If you look at the file name of the PDF plan, it is called full size or A1 size in some case. And then so you are seeing A1 size file page instead of those A4 size pages like a towel paper. Now close it. So go to drag your file, just drag your file into Inkscape, and then select the correct page. I want to start with page 3. So in this case, probably we will have to use 2 sheet. Very likely we will be using 2 sheet of Foamboard to cut it. So I'll just show you how I process both. So select the page and click OK. So you wait for a few seconds, about 10 seconds. Now you have got your flight test plan here. First thing I'll do is to rotate it by 90 degrees. And if you have selected the correct workspace size at the document properties, then you should have your PDF plan page 3 fit almost the whole workspace. That means you selected the correct workspace size. Now then the next thing to do is click on it, left click, and then right click, click ungroup. So ungroup has a shortcut key as well. You can use Ctrl Shift G to ungroup. So I'll show you to press unclick. Okay, now that you see all these dotted lines here, that means it's ungroup, but you have to ungroup again to go into details. Let's clean the bigger one first. This at the outside, the stuff that we do not need. Okay, so delete it by clicking the delete button. Now that I've removed those, then as you can see, this is still grouped. So I click Ctrl Shift G, or just right click to ungroup, and you have to do this twice. As for all the flight test plan that I found out, now that you can see they are all separated to tiny little dots and parts, and then now you start to determine which are the parts that you need to cut using the CNC machine. So in this case, I do not need this, the firewall, as this should be wooden. And this throw gauge, you need that. And then L1 setup gauge, you need that as well. Mini power port, yes. Electronics port, yes. FPV nose, yes. And yes, so it's okay, we just have 2, then we can choose later. Then the next thing to do is to start cleaning up these parts over here. So first thing we do is save first. Save it as a SVG. Go to, you should create a folder. So I have my folder here by the name of plan. And then I'm expecting that I'll be using 2 sheets of Foamboard. So I create 2 folders. One is let's just name it arrow, mini arrow S1. which means sheet 1, and then mini arrow S2. I'm showing you this to so that you will not be confused later, and then rename this file as a mini arrow S1 ORI. Okay, ORI, that means once it's completely clean process, then this will be the original process plan that we need to generate G code for full cut and a score cut later. I'll save it. If you have saved it correctly, you should see the file name change above. Okay, now let's start cleaning up the PDF plan. The end result that we want is that all these parts here will be left over with just black line, which is for full cut, and then this red line. As you can see, these are dotted red lines. We want to make it to be a straight red line, so we have to redraw that. Otherwise, when your machine is cutting, you just keep going up and down on the z-axis. That will waste some time, which you don't want. And first thing to do is let's remove the wordings by clicking Control and my scroll wheel. I am able to zoom in and zoom out. Then by pressing down the scroll wheel, I can bring the workspace around. Alright, so you can click on it, like for example this low, I do not need that. All this wording, I do not need that, because if you keep them, then your cutter will cut it as well, but then you won't be able to cut very fine cutting in this kind of small scale. So start by removing all the wordings first. Zoom in and out to check. Okay, I don't need this wording as well. This as well. Double bevel, delete. So we just delete one by one. Okay, regarding this A4, B4, you can keep it or you can delete as well. But in this case, I want to make the video as simple as possible. We will just remove this because I'll just teach you how to deal with black line and red lines. Okay, all the wordings is clean, is deleted. Now I'm going to, okay, let's start from the small one first. Okay, so as you can see, I got black lines and red lines here, as well as orange crisscross line. Most of it, okay, for those at the middle, I can just left click, holding down left click and highlight to delete the whole thing. Then start by deleting this. Okay, no. Okay, so I have to zoom in. Right now, you see the center part of the red line is missing. I'm going to redraw that. I'm going to pick this draw Bezier curve, which has like a yellow color pen. Then zoom in a bit. Okay, we'll be using this tool for reference. How you do this is just one short click, one short left click, and then holding down Control, pull it down, and then click, left click again, move your mouse away, and then just press enter. So now you see a black line over here. Then go to your left, go to your right, look for fill and stroke, choose stroke plane. You want to drag this to the right side, and then now your line become a red color. Then the next thing you need to do is to remove the previous red lines over here. Then press on this again and then drag it. Now you have recreated a new red line, and then we'll do it the same thing for here as well. Press once, left click, hold down Control, press again, move away, press enter, then drag your stroke slider to red color, and then remove this shorter one on both sides, then lengthen it. Okay, So when the G code generator is generating G code, you just generate a G code to tell the machine to go from this point here straight down to the point on the other side, instead of going straight and then go up and then go there, come down again and cut again, go up, come down, cut again, and waste a lot of time, and then you don't get a straight fine cut. So we are going to repeat the same procedure on all this. I'm going to do it quick. Now you may be thinking this is very troublesome, that you have to process the PDF plan one by one, it's time consuming, etc. But actually what happened is once you know how it works, it's actually very quick. You can process any plan in 1 hour. And the second thing is that as the community grows, once this is all standardized, that's why I recommend everyone to build A1 size machine, so we can actually share all this processed PDF plan online, whether on our website, Facebook group, or forum, and then including the G code as well. So in that case, you just download the G code and then load it to the machine to start cutting. So provided these are all standardized as A1. And also the reason why I recommend A1 is because the Flite test PDF plan is provided at a A1 size, so it's much more convenient that everything is standardized. It's alright to be offset a little bit, it's alright. And then you can see all these tiny dots here, so just left click, holding down left click, and highlight all of them and delete. And in the case that if you are using 0.92 Inkscape, due to all these tiny little parts, stuff or lines, as you ungroup, you actually your Inkscape will hang, will freeze. So I've also been through that and it wasted a lot of time. And then see, so now we have a part that is clean with just clean black and red line. You can go back to your PDF plan and compare whether you have done it correctly or if there's any mistake or not. So this is the one, you got all the, especially the red lines correct. Right, now we proceed to the one here. And then as you processing this PDF plan, be hardworking to save it time to time. Just press Ctrl S, because in case it freezes or in case there's any error, you don't have to redo this tedious part again. Alright, I've processed the smaller parts. I'm going to show you how I process the main wing. So like I said, we just want the black line and red line, and the red line we have to recreate or replace it with a continuous straight red line. I'm going to start removing all these green color lines, making sure nothing else is deleted, only the red line is deleted, only the green line is deleted. Then is there any more green line? No. Okay, then this light blue lines, they are for the 45 degree cut, those that we need to cut it by ourselves, so we don't need that. I'll just press left click and delete those. Let's start from here, as we want to delete the red line together as well. So holding down left button and highlight the area that you want. Now that's deleted, so we will just one straight red line. I'll start from here using the previous shorter line as a reference, drag it to here, position it properly, change it to red color, delete the shorter one, extend it all the way, and delete this as well. Delete just like clicking the delete button. And we're gonna clean this up as well. Extend it. Great, you have created the main line. Then delete this as well. So you can think about how to highlight all of this, and then now you can choose to keep this or not, this black line here, which is for the control horn. I would prefer not to have it, so I just delete it. But if you want it, you can hold down shift and then click on it. You will de-highlight it, okay, instead of highlighting it and deleting it together. And highlight again, start cleaning up all this smaller one. And create that red line. The position of all this line, you don't need to go until very precise. Just roughly will do. This is all foam board, right? Okay. Now to make sure the lines are correctly aligned, then okay, all this scorecard, which is for bending, we are going to delete them and make it a continuous red line. Delete, highlight and delete. Okay, now I want to keep that tab over there. I click shift, then select it, delete. Then these lines as well, you want to keep those last one close to the black line and use them as a reference. Okay, now start drawing the red line again. See, if you didn't keep them, then you don't know where the other end goes. Enter, select red. Then this also. Okay, that should be the last red lines. Since I have a reference at the edge, just delete both the last short red line and then create a new one. Okay, make sure it's red. Alright, so yep, I've cleaned them all up, and now try to compare again, see if I've done any error. Okay, looks good, looks the same. We only want the black line and the red line. Okay, now Control S to save it. And now we are going to rearrange this in our cutting space. First thing we're going to do is group them part by part first. Highlight the whole parts and then Control G to group it. Then do it for all the parts so that you can move them around easily without sometimes you may forget, and moving it without some of his own part. So now I can move the whole thing together. Now I'm going to group the whole main wing as well, Control G, or just right click and click group. And I'll rearrange the workspace. Usually I put the largest part close to the home, close to bottom left, which is the home. And then I'll start arranging them. Okay, this one maybe I have to ungroup it again to make sure that I don't waste any space. Group it one by one. So now I can make them close to each other. And then if you don't group them, as you rotate it, it won't rotate perfectly together. Some part may just go different angle or changes its position. So you have to think the optimum way of arranging this to maximize your cutting area. Also, you want to leave a little space here, about at least 5 mm. Okay, so as you can see here, even after I organize the sheet 3, which is the first sheet for our foam board, there's still a lot of space on top. Now I'm going to just save first, and then I'm going to import the page 4. Okay, I'm going to pull PDF to it again. I'll look for page 4. Okay, so this is our right wing. Wait a little bit. Pull it to side. So I'm gonna ungroup this first and delete all the unnecessary parts. Sorry, flight test. And then these are still grouped. I'll just roughly put it over here and see what I can fit. So definitely can't fit another main wing here, no problem. We're gonna split that to a second sheet. Okay, now select this and Control Shift G. Control Shift G again. Okay, now then it will be ungrouped all. And so the same thing, you have to clean up all this. I'm gonna do it fast. Okay, so I have cleaned up the right wing as well, the spar and the side vertical stabilizer. I also duplicated one. Now I'm going to group them as well. Okay, let's move it to the side a bit. Yep, group them. Group it. Okay, so I will pull the. Okay, so it's not grouped. Make sure it's grouped. Alright, pull over there. Now rotate it. Line it up. Still, it's not that optimum in terms of the space utilization. So I'm going to move around again, trying to maximize the space. Not good. It's not a good use of space. Okay, no choice then. The main wing won't fit, and then there are extra space here. So after you cut the foam board, you don't throw it. You can use the uncut the remain area as a spare, and then in the future you can just create a single part, generate G code, and then move your cutter head over to this side and start cutting and fully utilizing the remaining space. Now I'm going to Control Save again, and as you can see, all the parts over here are for the sheet 1. And then I've got this right wing process as well. Open a new workspace, and please again always remember, whenever you open a new work file, select as well as your size. Alright, sure mm here and A1 size. Then go back here, select your right wing, copy, then put it over to the new sheet. So this will be your second sheet of foam board. Maybe you can put it horizontally. I think that's alright as well. as you don't want to go too close to the edge. Okay, this one we will save it as a second sheet, so that will be S2 mini arrow S2 Ori. Alright, then just close it first and go back to the first one. Now I'll delete this. So make sure you have a control save to save your first sheet of foam board with processed planes parts with clean black lines and red lines. And this will be your original one. In case you screw up in the following steps, then you can just open this and redo again. Okay, so I'll end it here regarding the how to process Flite test PDF plan to make it clean. I'll show you how to use a process PDF plan to generate G code for the CNC machine. See you on next video. As always, like and subscribe and click on the notification button if you have not done so. See you on the next video. Bye.